bad habit. So as Marco said, I'm Francesco Rinaldi, one of the professors here in the data science program. Today I will quickly give an overview of the existing curricula here in the data science program, and I will give you some details related to the study plan, how you can fill in your study plan, and of course I will give you some basic info related to the Erasmus Plus program, which is also another important point in our data science program. Okay? So I will try to go very quickly on this side because Mark already said plenty of stuff, so I don't want to waste your time. But what I want to highlight is that there is plenty of data science model and methods around, available, and it's really these models and methods that make things work. So a data scientist right now needs to understand and hopefully develop some tailored models and methods for dealing with data. So this is our main goal in here. So keep in mind, understanding and developing, hopefully, models and methods for dealing with data. Okay? So a few words about our data science program. It is very successful, as Marco said, program that enables you guys to build and analyze structured models for the representation of concrete applications. Of course, you will be also able to properly choose and develop, as I said before, methods for handling those models. You will also get a deeper understanding of tailored techniques for data analysis, and of course, you will try somehow to combine and develop all these tools in order to solve complex problems in the end. Because our main problem, keep in mind this, we want to solve complex problems, okay? And data science is, this is all about, okay? Solving complex problems. So managing those tools in a proper way is the key for your success. The data science course, all our courses actually put a big emphasis on notion coming from statistics, optimization, machine learning, theory of big data representation, and of course some specific fields related to the chosen curriculum. Okay? And here are our 4 curricula we have right now. We have one related to biological data analysis, BDA from now on. One related to cognitive, social, and economic data analytics, that is CSDEA, and machine learning and intelligence system, MLIS, and mathematics of data science, MDS. Okay? And of course, depending on the curriculum, I will show you the details. Okay? And you can, of course, ask questions related to this curriculum. Of course, we expect from students that they have at least a good attitude towards mathematics, computer science, and statistics, but it's not a requirement. I mean, you do not need to have a good background in these areas, but at least you should like a bit these topics. And of course, what we want from you is that you apply knowledge in the practical management of this big data, okay? And of course, you should have an interest in using data science tools and of course, tailored algorithms for the analysis of data in real world problems. Again, real world problems is the keyword in here. So what you should expect from us? Our curricula, as Marco said, are all conceived as some multidisciplinary platform. And every curriculum should enable you guys to properly handle data science model and methods and properly understand the way all those tools are intertwined in big data applications, okay? And in order to do that, you will have plenty of projects and homework that allow you to develop both project management and analytical skills. And that's very important. And actually, we're really proud of our project and homeworks that make you really stronger from that side. And of course, we also have plenty of partnerships with industries and research institutions that enable you to implement in practice tailored technique for the solution of exciting data science applications. So you will touch with your hands what solving a real and complex data science application means. Yeah? After these 2 years, you should be able to get all these skills, so represent, compress, and store huge data sets, develop suitable models to recognize and analyze data, understand methods, algorithms for handling of big data models, and of course, tackle advanced problems and applications that are based on current research. Actually, this is a big hope that in some cases happened. So we are actually really proud of this. About employment prospects, of course, there are plenty of companies and research institutions that right now they try to deal with big data, and they really have a desperate need for data scientists, and there are plenty of them in ICT, finance, transportation, communications, biology, and healthcare. So you will surely find a good spot in the end. Okay. So about our graduates, of course, our graduates, thanks to the deep knowledge of data science tools and the ability to deal with the computational challenges behind data-driven systems, they represent an effective and attractive professional profile that surely finds an excellent placement in the job market in the end. Okay, so keep in mind this fact. About the main exams, we have like these exams that represent somehow the foundations, the backbone of our data science program. We divided these exams in three main areas. We have mathematics and statistics, computer science, biology, economics, human and social science. About mathematics and statistics, you have these three exams: stochastic methods, optimization for data science, and statistical learning. About computer science, you have foundation and information system, machine and deep learning. And related to this last area, you have cognitive, behavioral, and social data. In some curricula, if you have a good background, you can also decide to replace these two guys with some other advanced courses, okay? As we will see in a moment. And here is the list, the detailed list of all the other courses that you can choose in your study plan. Depending on the curriculum, you will have the possibility to choose a subset of these. Right? And do not forget that you also have two elective courses. So two courses that can be freely chosen from all the courses available at UniPD. Right? So anything you want. Of course, and these exams should be somehow connected with your study plan. Yeah. So let us start with BDA, so biological data analytics. Okay? And this is the first year. The first semester, you will have statistical learning, the first part, foundational information system, stochastic methods, and machine learning. In the second semester, you have the second part of statistical learning, and then you will start with some specific exam related to the curriculum, structural bioinformatics and intro to molecular biology. And of course, there will be the first elective that you can choose, together with another of the basic exams that you should take. Right? And here is the second year. In the first semester, you will, or the second year, you will start with two courses: biological data, cognitive, behavioral, and social data. Then you will be able to choose two exams, one in this first list and one in this second list, that will complete your study plan somehow. And finally, you have one more elective course. Right? After this first semester, you get to the second semester and last semester of your program, where you get an internship plus your thesis that completes your path. Right? So keep in mind that before completing your path, you always have your internship together, of course, with the writing of the thesis. Let's switch to CSEDA. The first semester, the first year is basically the same as before. The main change is in the second semester, where you get a different exam. Here you have financial mathematics for data science. And then, as you can see, first semester of the second year, there are some other differences from before. We have the law and data in here. Then we have one course between these three here: human-computer interaction, cognitive and computation, process mining. And then one course between these three guys. Right? And of course, again, another elective course. And same as before, we have the internship plus the thesis. Right? Let's switch to mathematics of data science. In this case, as you can see, you have the chance, in case you have a good background in stochastic methods, you come from a bachelor in mathematics, for example, you can decide to switch this with advanced course like a high dimensional probability for data science. Then you have machine and deep learning, that in this case is divided in two parts. You have first part in the first semester, second part in the second semester, same as statistical learning. Then to complete the first year, you have optimization for data science, and another interesting example is mathematical models and numerical methods for big data, okay? Plus the elective course as usual. In your second year, you will start the first semester with statistical methods for high-dimensional data, and then cognitive behavior and social data. One course between these three guys. In case you did not take before high-dimensional probability, you can choose it here. Then financial mathematics for data science and maths, mathematical cell biology. Finally, you have one course between these three as usual, and the elective course as well. And finally, second semester, internship plus thesis. Okay. So let's switch now to the last curriculum, that is MLIS. And this is a bit more complicated, so I will take some more time to explain the details related to this last curriculum. So in the first year, first semester, you can start with statistical learning, of course. These two advanced courses that are highlighted, I will explain the reason why in a couple of minutes. Then you have stochastic methods and machine and deep learning, the first part. In the second semester, you will have the second part of statistical learning, machine and deep learning, the second part, optimization for data science as well, knowledge and data mining, and the elective course. Okay. In the second year, first semester, vision and cognitive system plus cognitive behavioral social data. One course between these three, okay, and one course between these three plus the elective course to complete the path. You finally have internship and thesis. In case you do not have a good background in computer science, you're coming from another bachelor, you might want to take the basic course fundamental of information system. In this case, what you can do is simply replacing these two exams at the first year with this one. Of course, this would be your choice in this listing here. And you will postpone these two in the first semester of the second year. And of course, there will be no elective course in the first year. So this is basically the other option you have in case you do not come from a computer science, you do not have a computer science background. Okay. Let's switch now to the study plan. The study plan is basically the list of all the activities, like exam, internship, and so on, that you must carry out in order to earn the credits that are required for the graduation. Okay? And it can be modified throughout the years in specific time frames. This is very important. You have 2 specific time frames per year where you can modify your study plan. So pay attention to this. Maybe answer to the questions later on. Of course, we have 2 different versions for the study plan. You have the first one, that is the easy one, that is the automatically accepted study plan. In this case, you will basically choose the exam among the ones that I showed you before. And all the exam are activities offered by our department. Okay? And in this case, this is automatically approved once you click confirm plan. Okay? And what happens is that all the activities are immediately uploaded in your transcript. Okay? So this is very easy. In case you go with the required approval study plan, things change a little bit, but it's not that much complicated after all, because this gives you the possibility to include some educational activities that are offered by some other department or schools in the UNIPD. Okay? Of course, in this case, the study plan is subject to the approval of the degree program board, the so-called Consiglio del Corso di Studi. But usually what happens is that you send an email to us before, and we discuss about the possibilities that you have. So usually approval is not complicated, right? Not a complicated procedure. Keep in mind, filling your study plan is compulsory, and you must fill it out in accordance with the so-called manifesto di study of the program. That is basically the list of all the course units that are offered in data science. And of course, you need to keep in mind that when filling in your study plan, you need to refer to the rules related to your enrollment year. Okay, so for every year we have specific rules. You have to follow those rules. About the online procedure, you have an online procedure available for filling in your study plan. So keep in mind this. And the specific time frames I was talking about before are usually November, December, and March, April. So keep in mind this, because if you go out of these two time frames, that you cannot fill in your study plan with the online procedure, of course. A few words about the Erasmus program. Okay. So the Erasmus Plus program basically allows you guys to spend a period between 3 and 12 months abroad. And it is possible, of course, to attend courses and take exams, to prepare your thesis work if you want, or also to carry out some internship work. And we will talk about internship in a while. Of course, as long as it runs alongside a period of study. You can take a look at this website for further videos. You will have these slides available on the website later on. So in case you want to check, you will be able to check this. And here is a list of our partners. Hopefully this is going to be, because right now we only have these two, but we are working hard in order to get these new universities as partners. So starting next year, we should have all these new partners in our Erasmus Plus program. So you have a better choice on this side. Right? So if you have any question or remark at the end of the discussion, feel free to ask. I'm here.